What a life, what a life. I can't believe that this is my life. What a life, what a life. But I never trade for anybody else's life.
You know, I've never been up on the High Line before.
Yeah, it's my first time up here.
You like it?
Yeah, really nice.
Is there anybody that we've booked?
We got Letitia James.
That's great. I love it.
I was wondering, who is she anyway?
Gio, she's the public advocate. You should know this.
I should, shouldn't I?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, well, see, but this is a problem, because I think a lot of people are not sure, like, who she is. So if we're gonna talk to her, we should talk to, like, everyday New Yorkers and see what their concerns are and see what she has to say about them. You from New York?
New Jersey.
Jersey, all right. Where are you from?
We're from England.
You're from England?
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Spain. And we live in Shanghai.
And you live in Shanghai?
New Yorkers, New Yorkers.
Did you play in a very, very creepy movie?
Did I play in a very creepy movie? Me? What's your name?
Greg.
Greg.
Greg, yeah, I'm from Sydney, Australia.
Sydney,
And
Australia.
I'm bumping into you. I cannot believe this.
I can't believe it either. Where are you from?
I'm from New York,
Oh,
Wait a minute,
we got
like
one.
New York, or Long
like Westchester, New York, like an hour north.
Island? So this is working out really well.
We're not finding any New
Why'd we
Yorkers.
come up here? Let's get out of here. Maybe go across town. We're doing a little bit of an informal survey. Do you know who our public advocate
I
is?
don't, actually.
Do you know who our public advocate is, or what the public advocate does?
No.
You look like you're in the know.
Thanks.
Do you know who our public advocate is?
No, I don't.
Do you know what the public advocate is?
I would say that there's someone who advocates for the public. They're probably somebody who says, the folks would like it if we...
I think that's it, in a nutshell.
Yes.
Her name is Letitia James. I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
But what concerns would you like to be addressed?
Landlords taking advantage of young people new to New York City.
Please lower the rent.
It's a big concern. It's a big concern.
It's criminal.
I'm scared of being evicted. My family's having trouble paying for rent.
I think it would be nice to put a ceiling on commercial leases. Landlords can come in and charge anything once a lease is up.
My husband worked for a small business here on Avenue A, and they were there for almost 30 years. Lease went, they raised the rent, and they couldn't pay for it. It was a thriving business, very popular in the neighborhood, and everybody was really shocked about it.
Now, corporate. That's painful as an old school New York chick. I've been here since '83, before I was born, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a place where artists and musicians became for many years.
Right.
Lower East Side was like, a lot of different flavor, you know what I'm saying?
I do a little bit of film work. One was Brother Theodore, a documentary about him.
I don't want to go back to all the crime that I remember growing up in the
Right.
70s and 80s. I think people tend to romanticize a little bit too much.
It's hard to find a balance.
This is the teacher block. When I was a kid, none of the teachers wanted to work here because, kids were...
Yeah.
So they gave them subsidized apartments. All those teachers are gone. That shit's crazy there.
I think that there should be more programs for kids to like...
And more sports.
Like after school programs and stuff instead
After
of kids
school?
being in the streets.
Here, Steve Buscemi wants to talk to you. Hey.
Xavier,
Yeah,
what grade you in?
11.
Do you like school?
It's okay, yeah, it's fine.
What do you think about standardized testing?
But I think, the stress that it gives a lot of students is pretty agonizing.
Pretty agonizing.
Yeah.
Especially now with the ELA test and the math test.
Yeah.
What happens if we decide to opt out?
I've been hearing that if you opt out, like if you're in 7th grade and you opt out, it could affect what high school that you get into.
Exactly. So the teaching to the test is so intense.
They're teaching for the test. Do you feel like, do you feel that, Xavier, that what you're learning is how to take a test?
Yeah, I really do feel that. I even had a teacher that said to our class one time, all you need to do is pass this test. It's so easy. I would like to learn a little more.
I gotta ask you a question. Sure. Do you know who our public advocate is?
Our public advocate. Yeah, Letitia James.
Oh my God, you're the first.
Important. Nobody knew who that was?
Love this guy. Not many people know who she is.
She's kind of important. You should know who she is.
Yes, well, I know who she is. Well, the moment has arrived. We have you on our bench.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
You look good.
Oh, thank you.
And Gino, you looking?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You look
Appreciate
good.
it.
She calls you by your proper name, Gino.
That's okay. She's allowed to do that.
Yes.
But I'm gonna call you Tish.
Thank you.
He's not getting too familiar
No,
too
no, no,
quickly.
no. Everyone calls me Tish. I'm just a girl from the neighborhood, that's all.
You were a public defender.
I was a public defender,
Yeah.
yeah. I represented a lot of children in the criminal justice system and young people and a lot of women.
But so now you are our public advocate.
Yes.
We've been going around, we found some New Yorkers, and what was the number one thing? Affordable housing.
So Steve, as of today, we've resolved 10,000 complaints. And the number one issue is the crisis in affordable housing.
Right.
I've seen families double up, triple up. I've seen the middle class have to leave the city of New York. I've seen senior citizens, there's nothing wrong with them, who are still in nursing homes because they can't leave, because there's just no affordable housing for seniors. But the question really is, where do you build? We don't have a lot of city land, and so most residents, you know, they don't want tall buildings in their backyard.
Right.
And so we've got to find the appropriate areas where we can build more density to provide for families, because the key to sustaining New York City is a strong middle class. Home ownership is key. My father taught me the value of home ownership, and when you own a piece of the rock, then you're stable.
But what about the existing housing that we have? And that was the other thing that people are concerned about, are rents. I mean, so many people talked about abusive landlords.
So, taking a page from the former public advocate, who's the mayor,
Yes.
we decided to expand the worst landlords list. I call it the slumlord list.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are 6,000 worst landlords on our list.
Wow.
And we visited some of the buildings. One building in Harlem, a 4-story brownstone. The new owner had filed a false instrument with a city agency basically saying no one lived there, and wanted to convert 4 apartments to 15. And in fact, on the top floor, there was a family, a woman with 4 children.
Right.
And she had gone to every single agency and not gotten any assistance, and she ultimately came to our office. And what I've done differently with the Office of Public Advocate, I've lawyered it up. And so we sued the landlord for filing a false instrument, and we got a stop work order. Most of these buildings are in gentrifying neighborhoods. And so basically what the landlords want to do, they just don't want to pay any attention to the conditions.
Because they want the people to get
They
out.
want the people out.
Once they're out, then they can.
And they can triple.
Then they'll
and-
renovate.
Exactly.
Then they'll do stuff.
And that's what's happening in the city of New York. And so we've got to send a strong message.
Right.
And so stay tuned. We're working with some district attorneys, and we're going to be indicting some individuals. We've got lawyers on staff. We got caseworkers on staff. We work with all city agencies. We hold the mayor accountable. We have the ability to introduce legislation. So to break it on down, it's really a 3-part office. It's legislation, litigation, and what I like the best, agitation.
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 There's other things that you're doing and that the de Blasio administration is doing, like in regards with reform for prison, like Rikers.
Yes, we focused on Rikers Island, particularly as it relates to sexual assaults.
Right.
We heard from inmates and their family members who've called our office, who basically have said to us that, you know, they're being victimized. And so we have issued a change of regulations to the Board of Corrections, and we hope that they will adopt it to adopt a zero-tolerance policy for sexual assaults. And in addition, our office is focusing on sexual assaults on college campuses.
Right.
When we did a survey of men in most college campuses, a lot of them didn't think that date rape was really rape.
That's astounding.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So those issues are more we're focusing on.
This also ties into education.
Yes.
Because we talk to students. Where do you fall on standardized testing?
So I am so proud of all of the students who opted out of the test yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe in a full-rounded education. We should have more arts and culture and music and dance and physical education.
Yes.
And that a student should not be defined by one test.
Right.
I was a horrible test taker. Can you believe that?
I don't believe it, but
I used to
but if you
throw
tell me, I'll
up.
believe it.
Yeah,
I know,
threw
it's
up. I got nervous.
nerve-wracking.
It was
Sure.
terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, just to judge my entire performance on one test.
Yeah.
And a lot of the teachers just teach to the test.
Right.
And that's really unacceptable. You know, I found my voice through the arts, through singing and dancing. It was a music teacher who discovered this talent. When she introduced me to arts and culture, that's when I decided to get more you know, focused on academics.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I really believe part of the reason that so many people come to New York is they love the feel of the city, but they come for the arts, too.
I know.
So we have to support our artists who live here, and a lot of them can't pay the rent. Have we gone past the tipping point? Like, sometimes I feel like, can we get it back to, you know, where people can have good jobs, pay their rent, stay in the city, and not be so anxious about, you know, having to survive here. I mean, they should be able to thrive and not just survive.
So, Steve, I am drunk on hope. And so I am hopeful that we're not losing the sense of community.
Right.
I remember the day when we used to play stickball. Gino, remember that?
Yep.
We used to play stickball on the street. I was pretty good, by the way. I sat on my stoop. I knew everyone. We played Skelsies. That was Brooklyn that I remember.
Right.
And I'm hoping that we don't lose that. I believe in development from the ground up and giving voice to parents, giving voice to community. And sometimes it's messy and loud and ugly. But that's what's great about New York City.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to?
No, but I would like to be your leading lady in the film.
See that?
But why are you
I
laughing?
think you do a great job.
We could do a scene or something.
Lady.
You know, because I'm term limited. I have to gonna leave office in a couple of years, and you never know.
Yeah, but then you're going to move up.
Oh,
You know,
God.
yes, yes. Come on.
Thank
Come
you
on.
for having me.
Yes. All right. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I could be your leading lady, too.
I wish you would.
hey, I'm going to leave, and you two can. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.